Board Game Maniacs, Maniac Rob here to bring you another exciting battle report. We're playing none other than Blood Red Skies Battle of Britain by Warlord Games. In this one, we are playing Dogfight. It's Scenario 1 in the book. We've already played Scenario 0, now we're playing Scenario 1, and hopefully we're going to continue on with the succession and play the other scenarios in the rule book too as well. So hang on to your hats, sit in the cockpit of your plane, and get ready to shoot some planes down in Dogfight. Here's a look at what it tells me in the book for Scenario 1 Dogfight. So everyone know it is your scenario takeoff book that we're going by. Now with Dogfight, I'm not going to read all of the text here, but pretty much how a person wins or how a player wins is by either running off all of the planes off the table or building up enough chit marks so that they can't carry on, they just take off. Or if you destroy all the other planes, that's how you do it. So elements. Each player may deploy a maximum of 4 elements and must deploy a minimum of 2 elements. Each element must comprise 2 or more planes from the same squadron. What we're doing here today is we are going to deploying 2 elements each, which is 2 squadrons of 2 planes. Deployment sequence. The player with the most planes begin deployment by deploying 1 element. If numbers are equal, each player rolls a die, each for initiative, and the lower roller deploys the first element. And then it goes on to the next player and so on. So this is how you can find out about your starting advantage and disadvantage. So 6 or 5 is advantage, 4 or 3 is neutral, and 2 or 1 is disadvantage. If you're not sure what these are, by all means check out the first video that's on our channel and it'll explain a lot more in detail. I'm not going to go into super detail about how you play this game. We're just going to play it. I will explain a little bit of the rules as we go along, but not as detailed as the first one. Again, we are still learning how to play this game here at Board Game Maniacs, so this is kind of like our second test flight, I guess. Important rules to know though is leaving the battle area. If a plane leaves the table, it re-enters play on the following turn if it passes a maneuver test. Redeploy the plane anywhere along the edge it left from, and then roll a dice to see if it begins advantage, neutral, or disadvantage. If the test is failed, the plane returns to base, inflicting 1 bone chit on their squadron for each plane lost in this way. Very interesting. Game length. The scenario continues until all planes of 1 player retreat or have left the table. Victory. Victory is achieved by driving off the opposing squadron via shot down planes or accumulating boon chits. Recommended forces for Dogfight. It tells you everything there. And what's really important is what tells you here is what they recommend for the RAF squadron and the Luftwaffe squadron. So pretty much you got 2 elements, each element that has 2 Spitfire 2s, and they are both pilot skill 3. Trait cards are Foresight turns, theater card is a radar support, home advantage, and doctrine card is defensive tactics. For the Luftwaffe, it's 2 squadrons, 2 BF-109Es, pilot skill of 3 each, the same as what the Spitfires are. And their trait cards are 2 Great Climb and 2 Great Dive. Theater cards, poorly trained opponents, clear skies. Doctrine card is dive away. Now that is it for all you need to play this here, and everything that to play this, you don't need to buy anything extra. It just comes in the core box as it is. You can play it right at the box. You don't have to paint it. But you know, I like painting, and when I have the time, I try to paint the miniatures to show them off on camera. So let's look at the planes, and we'll go from there. You can see my planes. I have them kind of just all fancy-dancy laid out right here. So I got the BF-109Es. I got 2 squadrons, yellow-tipped ones, and then the red propeller ones. Some are cleaner than others. I kind of painted it like that because I like it. They look like they've been in war, and you know they're getting some battle damage and so on. And you look at the Spitfires here too as well. It's 2 different squadrons. They resemble very close to the same. The underneath are painted a little different. It don't really matter though, to be honest. And I have my cards set up. Now I already have 2 cards out here. These are what you play at the beginning of the turn. So for the BF-109E they have, which is radar support. Play this card during your deployment. Make a maneuver test for each friendly plane. Any that scores a success automatically begins the game with advantage, and then you remove it from the game. And for the Spitfire 2, Clear Skies. Play this card during deployment. Remove up to 2 cloud markers for your choice from the table. And that is it. So I already kind of played this one already because you can see the table. There's only 2 clouds there. Now in the book they do recommend that you play between 2 to 4 clouds. And I started with 4, but I'm using this Clear Skies. So because it's Clear Skies, I removed 2 of them. And you can see here it says remove. So once you play these, you have to remove them from play. And that is it. You can see I get everything else set up and ready to go. So I'm going to deploy. I'm going to do the advantage, disadvantage, and then I'll be back and explain where I did, or where I put everything, I should say. Bah! I figured I'd show this part here because I'm going to try to attempt to do radar support. So I have to make a maneuver test. For each friendly plane, they'll start in advantage automatically. So you can't use this any time during the rest of the game, so I might as well try it now. So how do you do the maneuver test? Very simple. Pilot skill of 3, and their agility is 3. So you get 6 dice, and a 6 on the dice or the spade is a pass. So, okay, so that's a pass right there. So this one of them gets advantage. And the advantage system, just to show you, you shift it back so it looks like it's climbing. And I'm going to continue on and do the rest of these, and then I'll be back after the plane. I just wanted to show you how you do the radar support test, or maneuver test for radar support. Again, the game is supposed to be played on a 3x4, so pretty much 3 feet this way, and it ends kind of right where the cards are and the cloud, and then 4 inches too as well. Or not 4 inches, 4 foot. So 3 feet by 4 feet. And that is the size of the table. You can see I got all my planes already deployed. So my first element, you can see here, I did the roll off test. 1 started advantage and 1 is neutral here. My other Spitfires, 1 is neutral and 1 is advantage too as well. And I'm starting on this edge of the board for those. My BF-109s, they were successful when they did the radar support. So they rolled 6, so they start here, and you can see here they're advantage too as well. So all of my BF-109s are actually in advantage level, but we have 2 of the Spitfire 2s in advantage and 2 in neutral. It's going to be pretty interesting here. So let's start this dogfight off. When you go, you'll have to do all of your advantage first, advantage planes, and the higher pilot skill. And if there's a tie, which there is a couple of ties here, you have to go by which one is the fastest, and not by inches, but the actual speedometer of how fast the plane can go. And the Spitfires got a little bit of a slight speed advantage here, so all of the advantage Spitfires are going to go first. I have this one, and he is going to, actually, you know what? I'm going to burn advantage. Just like that. And that'll give me an extra 6 inches, I think. Yeah, an extra 6. So Spitfires can move 7, so they're going to move to 7 plus an extra 6. So he goes like that. Off camera. And then he goes another 6. You can see where he burnt his advantage and he moved. And now what he can do too is after that is I'm just going to do a slight little modification here, because I'm going to turn just a wee little bit like that. And then for my pilot skill, my pilot activation, I'm just going to go back up to advantage. And that's the first Spitfire's turn. For my second Spitfire, he is just going to go up his 7 inches. Like so. And see, I don't want to do much of anything. Maybe I'll just do a little pivot here too as well. Just like that. And then that's going to be it. Before we forget, we have to put our little wing here, the movement chit, to let everybody know that that plane is activated. And I'll do the same for the other Spitfire. For my first activation of an Advantage BF-109E, what I'm going to do, you can see, is I am actually going to go my distance with the BF-109E, which is also 7 inches. Just like this. And it's kind of, I'm thinking what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just do a wee bit of turn, just like so. All right, now where that has placed me at is I can shoot this guy or try to take a pot shot at him now and see if I can damage him. At least put a chit onto the squadron so it will be that much more closer to winning this game. I get a little ahead of myself. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be able to shoot, but you can see they're not in range. So unfortunately, not in range, but that ends the BF-109E's activation first. But now all the other BF-109Es, because they are in advantage, they get to all activate now before the neutral planes for the Spitfire 2. For my next BF-109E, you can see back here, I'm going to do a dive with him. So I'm going to burn advantage. Whoops. So he goes to neutral, and he's going to burn advantage. So he will move a total of, what is the speed? I can't remember. Oh, it's 7. 7 plus 6, I will be able to move. He did his dive, burnt his advantage, and now what he's going to do is, I think he kind of did a wrong thing here, but we'll see. So he just did a slight turn there, and that plane is activated. Now we're going on to the other BF-109s, which are all the way over there. Before I forget, for his pilot action, he's just going back up to advanced. The next BF-109E, that's an advantage. I'm thinking he's going to do a dive too as well, burn to neutral, go down like this. Now, he's not going to be able to shoot here because this BF-109 is an advantage, and a neutral cannot shoot an advantage. But what he may do is just fly down there. Actually, he's going to fly down there and then go to advantage, because you don't want to be in any way for this guy here to sneak up and, you know, tail him and shoot him from behind. That would be bad. So yeah, he's going to do a dive, and then he is going to do his pilot skill, pilot action I should say, and go back up to advantage. That ends that pilot's activation, because he did a little tiny bit of a turn, a 45 degree, and he went back up to advanced. Now we're on to the final BF-109E over here to activate. Then we do all the neutral Spitfire 2s. For this BF-109E, I'm thinking he is going to do his basic 7-inch move, and then he is going to, for his pilot action, he's going to shoot, because I'm thinking he's probably going to be in range of this Spitfire. We will see. I'm going to move, measure, and I'll be back. You can see here he moved up, and he is within the 6 inches. I did measure. This is considered a head-on attack because it's a front arc to the front arc. So because of that, this dogfight, it's really, a head-on attack is very risky, and it don't matter what state the other plane is that's being attacked on. If it's a head-on attack, they could be in disadvantage. They still get to shoot too as well. So he's going to shoot, and he's going to shoot, and we're going to see exactly who takes the damage. BF-109E is taking a shot at the Spitfire 2 first. They got a pilot skill of 3, and then you add your shooting, which is a 1 dice for those. And he needs at least 1 6. Oh, look at that. He gets 1 success. So he definitely hits the Spitfire. Now the Spitfire is going to be able to try to dodge it, and then he's going to counterattack. For the Spitfire 2 to try to outmaneuver or dodge the shot that the BF-109E have done, you get your pilot skill, which is 3, and you get your maneuver, your agility, which is 3. So it's 6 dice. All he needs is 1 spade or 1 6, and he successfully passes it. Oh no! He does not pass it at all. So what happens in this case is he loses an advantage level. So he's going to go from advantage to disadvantage, and also the squad takes 1 boon chit. Spitfire goes down, he's on neutral now from advantage, and there's a boon chip that will be placed onto the Spitfire card. And if you have the boon chits outnumber the amount of planes on the battlefield, that means that that team will fly away because they're like, I don't want any part of this anymore, let's get out of here. And that's what would happen. So that's boon chits number 1 for the Spitfire 2. That ends the activation for all the advantage planes. Now we're going to the neutral planes. And it will be the Spitfires left. There's 2 neutral Spitfires that did not activate this turn that are going to go. This Spitfire 2 is he's going to burn his advantage to go to disadvantage, and he's going to fly, I already pre-measured, into the clouds, so he gets an extra 6 inches on top of that, so that's more than enough to get him here. Now, once you go into the clouds, it don't matter if you're advantage or disadvantage, you come into the clouds neutral, but you can't shoot out of the clouds and you can't shoot into the clouds. So he's going to do that, and then he's going to use a protractor, or the compass, I guess you could say, like so. And he's just going to do his little turn just like that. Now, because he burnt his advantage, he still has a pilot skill, but he can't shoot out of the clouds. I'm going to double check that rule, but if he can, like, he would definitely be in range, but I don't think you can shoot through the clouds, but not from the clouds, I don't think. But I will double check that. So just hold on to your joystick, your flying stick, whatever you want to call it, while I double check. I'll be back shortly. Just to confirm, it does say in the book that you cannot shoot when you're in a cloud, but you can't be shot at either when you're in a cloud. So he ends his turn right there, and that is it. We have 1 more Spitfire, which is over here. We have to plan to see what he'll be able to do, because he wants to try to be able to get behind one of the planes, because he wants to try to tail them, but not get in Wingman or anything. We'll see. Let me think about this. I'll be back. This Spitfire flew his 7 inches, and he just made a little pivot. He didn't burn advantage or anything like that. Now, he stays in neutral. Now, if he wanted to, the reason why he can't shoot that BF-109 there is because BF-109 is an advantage and he's in neutral. So there's no way that he'd be able to shoot him. So that ends the first round in this dogfight scenario. So what we do now is remove all of the activation tokens, and we get ready for the next activation. Before I go on to the next activation, I just realized that I totally forgot to do the other shooting. So as you can see, where they were doing a head-on attack, then it was like the opposing plane, I'm just totally lost right now. The opposing plane gets a shoot back too as well, no matter what kind of advantage level it is, but we did not do that. The Spitfire got a boon chit onto it, so I know this is kind of a little late, but I'm still going to do it because they did catch it. So the Spitfire is going to return fire to the BF-109 and see if he's going to put a boon chit onto them as well. 4 dice for the Spitfire. It's 3 for the pilot skill and 1 for their firepower. And needs 1 6, and it still won't make a difference. Would not have done it. But, I passed it, got all excited into the movement and the shooting. So I just completely slipped my mind to do this, but I did catch it, and we're doing it now. So now we are on to the next round. For the next round, the planes that will go first is all advantage planes. So you'll have the 4 BF-109s are an advantage, and we have only 1 Spitfire that's an advantage. And because the Spitfire is faster, it's going to be able to go first. The Spitfire has flown his movement of 7, and then you can see with the little movement tool here, the rotating tool, he moves slightly. So I just looked at this, and this shot would be classified as a deflection shot, which means he's shooting into the side of the plane. So because of that, he's still going to try to shoot. Why not, for his pilot action? And then the BF-109 is going to be able to try to retaliate. And I'll explain how the BF-109 will be able to retaliate, or try to dodge the shot, retaliate the shot, or deflect the shot, whatever way you want to call it, but I'll show you what that is. Before the Spitfire shoots the BF-109, even though it's a deflection shot, the BF-109 chose to use poorly trained opponents in reaction to an enemy plane choosing a pilot skill, and the pilot skill for the Spitfire 2 is going to be shooting. And what they have to do is the enemy plane must pass a maneuver test to complete their chosen pilot action, and after that it is discarded. So the pilot action, the maneuver test for the Spitfire is your pilot skill of 3 plus your maneuverability of 3, so we get 6 dice to try and maneuver, or to pass the maneuver test so we can still shoot. Let's go and see the dice roll on that one. Hopefully he's still going to pass. 6 dice. Oh, he definitely passes. Not a problem whatsoever. So now he's going to shoot. Spitfire 2 is shooting now. That is 4 dice in total. 1 for his firing and 3 for his pilot skill. Oh, critical. Ooh. So that's 2 hits. So 1 6 is going to be 1 hit, but 2 6s, that means it's a critical. So for the defending plane, they get 1 dice less to roll. Looking at the quick reference sheet for a deflection shot, you can see right here, it's pretty much just the same thing. So the Spitfire is shooting in the side of the BF-109, so it's a lot harder to shoot your plane from the side because the planes are flying, and let's face it, like they're going up of an excess speed of like 354 miles an hour, and it's going to be hard to shoot them in the side. So because of that, use your agility or your speed plus your pilot skill to dodge. And the BF-109 is choosing his speed, which is 7, and his dodge, or pilot skill, which is 3, so that's going to be 10 in total, but because he rolled it correctly, gets to roll 9 dice instead. And that is 9 dice right there. Oh boy. All he needs is to pass, get 1 spade, a 1 6. Oh, and he just, out of all them dice, only gets 1 success, but he was successful to dodge it, so therefore, the BF-109E squadron don't get any boon chits on them. And there's the activation token to let us know that he activated. After the Spitfire's activation, what he didn't realize is the BF-109E was hot on his trail. You can see there. Because what's going to happen now is there's going to be a tailing effect that's going on. This is interesting. I never did a tailing effect before. Again, but this is only my 2nd game playing this, so I'm still learning the rules as we go along. But for tailing, what he's going to do is he's going to turn just slightly with this turning of 45 degrees. Let's move that out of there. And then on top of that, he's pointed directly at the rear because you have to go by the arrow. Now, to move, he has to at least minimum. And his minimum is, because his speed is 7, so he's going to have to move up to 4, which is right here. So he's going to move up, and what happens now is, first I'm going to move that and I'll show you. I can't do it with both hands, I got to stop the camera for a second. I moved the plane up, so the BF-109 is this far away, and it's directly pointing. Now this is what you're going to call a tailing effect, because he's tailing behind him. That's the prime spot that you want to be. It don't have to be this close, but within firing range at least. But prime spot to be to shoot the other plane. Now, another thing that can kind of stop a tailing effect is going to be a Wingman Effect, which means if he had another Spitfire within the vicinity of 6 inches from this plane, and he's in the firing arc, then that would be Wingman. The tailing effect would not work. But as you can see, more than 6 inches away here. I measured, so this guy is more than 6 inches away. So unfortunately, there's no one around to save the Spitfire. So then this Spitfire will go, kind of hard to do with no hand, with one hand, goes down automatically to disadvantage. Kind of bumped in there. That is it. So now, what happens is that BF-109 still didn't take his pilot action, and he's going to shoot. Let's see if he actually hits that Spitfire. 4 dice for the BF-109. No, does not get anything at all. Whew. That Spitfire is so lucky for that. But in any case, BF-109, that one is done. With this activation, we're on to the next BF-109 that is in an advantage state. Before I forget, activation token. The next BF-109, you can see I already got the ruler laid out. He is going to, because there's no distance there to shoot, or actually there may be a shoot, so I might be able to shoot twice. I just thought of that. Whoop. Yeah, definitely in range. I kind of bumped him a bit. So moving back like that. So the first thing he's going to shoot again, head on. He's going to get to react, and then after that, what I'm planning on doing is he's going to fly up to his 7. He's going to turn his 45, and he's going to be able to shoot him yet again for his pilot action. So that, first he's going to take the first shot. Okay, this here is a head-on dogfight going on, so two of them are shooting right at each other. So first BF-109 shooting. Ah, boy. Here goes. Oh, BF-109 successfully hit. Boom, just like that. So now the Spitfire has to try to avoid it. It is a head-on, so it is a maneuver of the Spitfire 2 of 3, plus a pilot skill of 3, so he gets 6 dice. So 2 more dice, so that's 6 in total. Now he has to get at least 1 6. Oh yeah, he double passed it. Not a problem. There's, meow, you can't hit me. Meow. That's the sound of my Spitfire 2 airplane flying skill abilities. Meow. This time I remembered the Spitfire is going to shoot back and misses. Jeez. Let's continue on to BF-109E's movement now. Again, the BF-109 is doing exactly what he planned, just to get another shot off. And it's kind of in the way there. So, you know, he goes up his full 7, which is right here. You can see they're almost touching, like, hello, how you doing? They can look inside each other's cockpit. So now I'm going to put my 45-degree turn. And he's going to turn just like so. Whoops. There we go. Now, can't really see it. I'll have to change the camera angle onto this. I keep moving this. I got to hold it still. All right, I'll just change the camera angle. I'll show you what happened here. You can see from this angle here, it's a little better. So the front arc is definitely pointed into the front arc of the other one. Now, I could be playing this wrong. If I am, comment down below and let me know. But this is telling me that I can do a head-on fight again between the two of them. So let's go back to the dice rolling box and see if he's going to take damage this time, Spitfire. Or is he going to just make the noise and dodge out of the way again? BF-109, next shot. Oh, jeez. That's 3 6s. So that's a double critical on the Spitfire 2. I just looked in the book to find out what happens if you roll more than 1 critical hit, which would mean 1 6 is a success, and then another 6 is a critical, and then this would be another critical. But it don't say anything that you just keep taking dice away for every critical that you roll. So because of that, it's just 1 dice taken away from the dodge. So instead of 6, the Spitfire is getting 5 dice to dodge. Spitfire is going to make a noise again and just move it away. Oh yeah, look at that. Moves it away. Now, the Spitfire is going to shoot back at the BF-109 saying, hey, you shot me? I'm going to return the favor. So 4 dice. See if he gets any criticals. Ah, he gets 1 success. So, pew, hits, shoots, kind of, you know, the bullets are just whizzing by the BF-109, so the BF-109 is going to be able to try and dodge. 6 dice for dodge for the BF-109E. I keep saying the BF-109, it's the 109E. Oh, dodges all day, not a problem whatsoever. Now the BF-109E is like, meow. That's the sound of that engine for that plane. Next, BF-109E that is activating. He's deciding to burn his advantage to go to neutral. It's hard to do it with one hand. Oh, neutral. There we go. Now after neutral, the reason why he's burning advantage is because he can move up to 180 degrees at any time. So he is going to move his 7 inches, which is like right here. And then he is going to turn now up to 180 degrees, but he's only turning there because he's going to do another head-on fight here. He's seen somebody else. He's like, hey, he did it. I'm going to do it too. So I'm going to have to roll for shooting for those guys. BF-109E takes the shots into the Spitfire 2. Whoop, it's on camera. That's 1 successful hit. So the Spitfire, because it's head-on, is going to try to maneuver away from that, and the way it does that again is 6 dice, like so. And let's go. Is he going to be able to maneuver? No, he does not maneuver. Uh-oh. That means that the Spitfire gets hit and gets a boon chip. And the boon chip's gone in Spitfire, but then the Spitfire's like, I don't think so. Plays a card. Home advantage. Pilots over friendly territory could stay in the fight for longer. Play in reaction to receiving a boon chip. The boon chip is discarded. So therefore, this card gets discarded, and that boon chip don't even go on because of home advantage. Booyah! BF-109E. Now the Spitfire is going to take the shot. 4 dice. And misses. Geez, that pilot. He may be able to fly pretty good, but he can't shoot if his life depends on it. In this case, his life does depend on it, but he can't shoot. Last advantage plane is another BF-109E, and he's going to activate. Now, I'm thinking what he's going to do is he's going to move his minimum distance of 4, because you have to round up, it's 7, so it would be 3 and 3, 6, and 1 is 7. So yeah, he's going to move up, but he's going to burn his advantage to neutral, so he's going to do a 180 degree, so he's going to go up his minimum, turn around, and he's going to shoot at this Spitfire 2 as well. He's, I'm going to do it too, that's it, we want this guy to go down. And that's what's going to happen. You can see there, I did move, I did turn him around. Now he is pointing it as a head-on shot attack again. Oh, this Spitfire's not having any luck at all. They all seem to be picking on him to try and drop him into the drink. BF-109E taking a shot. Gets 1 hit. Woohoo! Spitfire 2 is going to try to dodge. Dodges, no problem. Ha ha! Spitfire returning the favor. Gets a hit. BF-109 trying to avoid. Whoa, does not avoid at all. This is not a good thing for the BF-109Es. The BF-109E does not have a card that it could play, so 1 boon chip goes on to the BF-109E. Bam. And also too as well is because he's hit, he goes down 1 level. So he's going to disadvantage now because he's in neutral. That was a pretty risky thing to do, BF-109E, and you failed because look, you're in disadvantage now. And that is all the advantage aircrafts so far that went. They were on to the neutral. And the only neutral ones here is the Spitfire here, Spitfire there, and the Spitfire there. So all of them three are going to be able to activate and see if they can bring one of the planes down. And I think I got an idea for this. This is what the Spitfire 2 is going to do. Now the Spitfire was in the clouds. He's going to burn his advantage, go its disadvantage. He's going to come out. Now the thing is, once you exit the clouds, you go from, no matter if you're advantage or disadvantage, to neutral. And he moves up here for only 4. He's going to make his turn like so. And he's going to go up an extra 3 so he can back right here. And then he's going to be tailing him, but he's already in disadvantage. There's no Wingman Effect that can happen. So he's just going to shoot at him. And if he gets a hit, that means that this plane, if he can't dodge it, he's down. He's in the drink for sure, or in the forest for this match. You can see that's where he final move for 2. So turn, and get up closer. So now he's going to shoot into this BF-109E and potentially take it down. Here we go. 4 dice. Is he going to get any shots in? No, he misses! No! He may have missed, but he's still, he's activated, but he's on the tail. That's very important. The next Spitfire seen what was going on, and they're hey, I'm going to do that too. So this Spitfire could potentially going to move up his minimum, which is going to be 4 inches. I have to move that plane out of the way to check. If he can move up the 4 inches, oh, he could potentially just, be able to take another shot at a disadvantaged plane. We'll see. I'm going to measure and find out. He wasn't able to do that because 4 inches he would have hit into the base. So because of that, he decided to burn his advantage, went from neutral to disadvantage. Flew his full 7, did a 180-degree turn, but he's tailing this BF-109 now. So because he's tailing the BF-109, disadvantaged planes cannot shoot. He can go back to neutral, but he wouldn't be able to shoot. That would be his pilot skill. So yeah, that's exactly, I just figured out in my brain as I'm recording. So he did that. I thought I couldn't do anything else, but for his pilot skill, I'm going off camera here. He's going to go back to neutral. It's kind of hard to maneuver around and keep bumping into them. But he's going to neutral. So let's see if I can do this on camera. It's a little difficult, but there we go. So he goes to neutral for his pilot skill because he could not shoot. But however, he is tailing this and there's no Wingman Effect going on. So because of that, this BF-109 is going to get dropped down to disadvantage automatically. Boom, just like that. Now that means that Spitfire is done of his activation, so we put the activation chip right here. And there's only one more Spitfire to do, and it's over there. He may potentially do the same thing too as well, burn his activation, fly do the 180 degree, and put that BF-109 into the disadvantage state, because there's no way he's going to be able to take a shot off at him that way. Let me think about this. This is what the Spitfire 2 had done. So he was originally here. He decided to fly his full 7 inches, which to here, and now he has turned his 45 degrees. So because of that, if you look, swing the camera around, he is under 6 inches to this BF-109E, and because of that, this is a tailing effect. There's no wingman that can help him, so this BF-109E goes automatically to disadvantage. Wham! Just like that, I kind of bumped this plane. Now, because of that, that's pretty good. I keep on saying because of that, that was pretty handy dandy flying on this guy. He's going to shoot at the BF-109E now. You can clearly see it is definitely in range, well in range, and he's within the back arc, so the tail effect did work. And then we got to go to the rolling dice box and see if he's going to be shot down in a ball of flames or if he's going to be able to successfully dodge. 4 dice for the Spitfire, 2, and Ooh, double critical, or 2 successes, so that's a critical hit. So the BF-109 will have 6 dice to dodge, but because he got the extra 6, he only goes to 5 dice to dodge. Let's see if this BF-109E is going to be able to successfully dodge. Success, he was able to dodge. Whew. Tough go, tough go. As you can see, all of the planes have went. Everyone has activated, so now we're going on to round number 3. Wow, the tides have changed so quickly. So it was that the BF-109s were all in advantage, but now they're mostly in disadvantage. The Spitfire 2s, I have 3 of them in neutral, 1 is in disadvantage, and there's only 1 in advantage. It's the BF-109E, which is all the way over here. So that is going to activate first, and then it's going to be the Spitfires, and then the disadvantage after that. Jeez Louise. What the BF-109E is going to do is he's going to just burn advantage to go to neutral. He's going to fly his minimum of 4 and do the 180-degree turn like so. And for his pilot skill, because he's not in range of anything, he's just going to go back up to advantage. A lot of shooting is going on right now, because you can see that this Spitfire here is definitely in range to shoot the BF-109E. This Spitfire is able to shoot the BF-109E, and this Spitfire is going to be able to shoot the BF-109E, or Spitfire 2, I kind of bumped him there. Ooh, there's a lot of shots going on, and then there's going to be a lot of movement going on for the Spitfires here. All right, so let's see what's going on. I think he's going to shoot first. Here goes Spitfire 2 shooting in the BF-109E. Oh, critical. So the BF-109E has got to try to dodge, and he only gets 5 dice because he had the critical. So let's grab another one. So that's 5 dice. He did not, and he is in disadvantage. So that means 2 things. Number 1, the BF-109E gets a boon chit because being shot. Number 2, because his BF-109E was disadvantaged, he takes a plummet into the forest of no return, and this gets destroyed by the Spitfire 2. Pew, pew, pew! For the movement of this Spitfire 2, he's going to move his 7 inches up here. He's going to do his 45 degree, and then hopefully he's going to be lined up that he's going to be in the back end of this and shoot this one. Maybe he's going to down 2 fighter pilots. We will see. That's what you call some fancy flying, because he moved and he turned, like I said, the 45 degree mark, and now he's in line to shoot this guy, because just to check the range, you can see well within the range. So he's going to take a shot at this BF-109E, which is also in disadvantage. Let's see if he's going to have luck again. No, he shot but missed this time. Good try though. And that is the activation token. Now we're on to the next Spitfire 2. And that Spitfire 2 that's going to go next is going to be, no, let's do this guy right here. So he's going to shoot right here into this guy right here. So he's going to shoot, and then he's got to move and then pilot action. So first off, it's shooting right on target. So let's see if he's going to bang this one out of the sky. 4 dice. And he misses too. Holy smokes. But he still gets to move. For his action, what he's going to do, he's going to burn his advantage. He's going to drop down the disadvantage. And he's going to do, he's going to fly his 7, which is right there, and 180 degree turn, just like that. Now for his pilot action, because he can't shoot, he's in disadvantage, he's just going back up to advantage level. Just like that, and that ends this turn for the Spitfire 2. So let's put a boon chit right there. The next, Spitfire 2, he's in neutral, he's going to shoot before he does anything, so maybe he may take this one down. 4 dice. No, nothing. Jeez, what is it with these guys in shooting now? He can't hit nothing. He's right behind him, so close, and still cannot score a hit. For the Spitfire movement, he's going to play what's called Tight Turn. On a plane with this trait during its movement, the plane may make its normal 45-degree turn at any point in its movement or just at the end. Not just at the end, and then you discard. That's what he's doing, so Tight Turn allows him to turn to 45 degrees now, and he's going up to his 7. Like so. He didn't burn advantage or disadvantage. I wonder if that's a right idea to do, is to do that. Turn 4. Actually, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. Scratch that. So, I'm going back here. So, I am doing the Tight Turn, and then I'm going to go up my minimum of 4. Like that. And he's burning his advantage. So he's going to go to disadvantage now. I keep hitting it. And the reason why he's doing that is so that now, because he burned his disadvantage, or his advantage, he's making a turn to here. Just like that. And then for his pilot skill, because he can't shoot because he is disadvantaged, he is going to go back up to neutral. And that is the end of his activation. Looks like it's getting into a big traffic jam here. And far behind is that BF-109E, which is an advantage. So now we're on to the disadvantage, and the Spitfire is going to go first because he's in disadvantage. He's faster. They all have pilot skill is equal, but his speed is a little bit faster, so he goes next. He too is playing Tight Turn, and we already know what that is. Just to let everybody know too as well, the way I got these cards set up is I got the ones that are described in the book to play, and I have 2 cards active, and once one is pulled and goes into the discard pile, I draw another one and flip it over. So the one that I did here for the Spitfire that you've seen was the Tight Turn. And there's the other Tight Turn. Now he's going to play that one, so he's going to discard that one. Grab another one, but he can't pick it up again. So that's another Tight Turn card. So back here, he is turning his Tight Turn maneuver there. Whoops. I said whoops because I hit my aircraft. Now, he is going to fly. He's going to go the full 7, I think. Oh, yeah, I was doing that. But yeah, he's going to go the full 7. And then for his pilot skill, he's going to go to neutral. There, he went his movement. And he's activated. Now we're on to the 2 disadvantaged BF-109Es. Let's go with this guy first. He can't shoot because he's disadvantaged. And he can't burn to go 180-degree turn. I'm thinking he might just go up 4. If this is within the 4 and he's not going to hit that base. And then he's going to shoot. But he can't shoot. He's going to be able to go 4 and go back to neutral. I had to measure and find out. Not much that BF-109E could do, so he just flew his 7 inches and he pivoted like so, and he, for his pile action, he went up to neutral. I already pre-measured, but for this BF-109E, he can't shoot because he's disadvantaged, but he just borderline to there. That's all he really can do. He don't got much of a choice. But that's 4 inches, because if he went to pass, he's going to bump into his other plane, and he can't do that. So the 4 inches, he went to neutral, and he activated. And that ends this turn 3. Whoa, it's still kind of a little bit of a traffic jam, but We only have one plane that is in advantage, and it's the BF-109E, which is right here. All the rest are to neutral. So we're on to the next turn. This BF-109E wants to get back in the fight. He's too far away, so he decides to burn the advantage. So he goes from advantage to neutral. And now he has a card, kind of laid it here. And what that does is where he's burning it, so instead of doing a dive, he's playing great dive. So instead of going up to 6 inches for the great dive added onto your movement, you get the full, so he gets an extra inch. So that'll be 14 inches. I did pre-measure this with my handy dandy measuring tape. And what he's doing is he is pretty much flying all the way up to here. Very close. Now, first pilot action, he's going to shoot at that the Spitfire 2. Before he shoots, just to let you know, he's shooting in the side arc of the plane, so the Spitfire can do what's called a deflection. That will increase the amount of dice he's rolling. We already did this, you've seen this previously, but I'll explain it again as we're doing it. First off, he's going to shoot 4 dice into this Spitfire 2. See if he gets any luckier than the Spitfires did. Oh, definitely got luckier. Holy God. Wow, look at that. That's 3 successes. Woohoo! The Spitfire can dodge. He's going to, it's a deflection, so he can have a choice of either doing his agility and pilot skill, or he can do his movement value and his pilot skill. So it would originally be 10, but because he had the critical hit, the BF-109E got a critical hit, it gets down to 9 dice. He needs just 1 success. Oh, he definitely dodges that. Not a problem whatsoever. And here we go, activation. Now that was the only advantage plane that's out there. So now we're going to the neutral, and it's going to be the Spitfires going to go first. I've just noticed this for the Spitfires too as well. So this guy right here, he is tailing him. So because he's tailing him, this BF-109E is going to automatically drop to disadvantage. Now, he's going to take a shot and see what happens, and then we're going to move on from there. So first off, Spitfire shooting in the back end of the BF-109E. 4 dice. Gets a success. Look at that. 1 success. So the BF-109E is going to be able to dodge with his 6 dice. 3 pilot skill, and the 3 is going to be the agility. 6 dice to dodge. Did not dodge. Oh, you know what that means. Boom chit onto the BF-109E. And another one goes down in a ball of flames. Woo! Just like that. On top of the action that just took place, there's one other thing. And that is, the BF-109s are like, we're getting the heck out of here. And they just fly away. And the reason for that being is the current number of aircrafts available is 2 left. 1 here and 1 here. And the current number of boom chits onto the BF-109Es are 3. So they outnumber the amount of planes that are left onto the board. So they disengage, and the BF-109Es just fly away as fast as they can. One other comment that I want to make here that I did not say at the beginning of the game, I just realized this, I reviewed the footage, and I was doing a little bit of a house rule here because I was trying to get used to playing this game more and more, because this is the first, again, well actually this is the second game I've played for Blood Red Skies. Now, the house rule that I did, it's a little different. So in any other game that we're playing this, when you play it, and when you make an attack on a plane, and if you hit, no matter if the plane dodges or not, you're going to get a boom chit onto the squadron. And then if that results in the plane unable to dodge, and the plane goes down, that's going to be another boom chit. So the game would have been over a lot faster than this, but I did forget to mention at the beginning of the mission that I was playing that I wasn't playing with that rule, that I was playing with the only way that the boom chit would stick to the plane is if that plane could not dodge. The could not dodge the attack. But just so everybody is aware, the correct way of playing this, but again, I was doing the house rule, but the correct way of playing this is an example. If he was shooting at him and he hit him, he gets a boon chit automatically, as in Spitfire would have got a boon chit right away. But if he dodged it, he wouldn't go down to another disadvantage level, but he'd still get the boon chit. If he was into the low disadvantage level and the Spitfire hit him, number one, he'd get a boon chit, and number two, if he wasn't able to dodge, then that plane would have been off of the board and the Spitfire team would have got another boon chit. So hopefully that clarifies everything. I was almost certain that I did say that at the beginning of the game, but I did review the footage and unfortunately I did not say that. So again, that is a major rules. It's not an error because I was thinking this in my head and I did think I did say it at the beginning of the game just to help me get used to it. But I guess that would be an alternate way to play in Blood Red Skies. But the proper way is as long as you do a hit, they're going to get a boon chit right away, no matter if they dodge it or not. So again, that is a house rule. So just anybody who's watching this, and you comment down below before you watch the end of this video saying, hey, you played it wrong, please just take that in mind too as well and take that into account. But in any case, the winners of this mission is the Spitfire 2. What I may end up doing, because where I did forget to mention this house rule that I was doing, I may play Dogfight again in a separate video and stick with, as long as they get hit, they get a boon chit no matter if they dodge it or not. I might do that again just to play Dogfight again because, you know, I did mess up because I forgot to mention it at the beginning of the video, which I thought I did. I don't know why I didn't. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this game for what it's worth. I do know that I made some rules mistakes. Hopefully the viewers, you will correct me on any other rules mistakes beside the boon chit thing, because again, it was a house rule. But if I make any other mistakes, by all means, comment down below and let me know. Refer to a page number. Say like, you did this at this time in the video when you should have done that. And that way I will learn this game a lot faster than just, you know, going through the motions. Because without you viewers, Board Game Maniacs wouldn't exist. And, you know, they'd probably be playing games wrong a lot more. So because of you, I thank you very much for everybody who is supporting Board Game Maniacs. Speaking of supporting, if you want to become an official sponsor of Board Game Maniacs, you can go to patreon.com and you can find Board Game Maniacs and you can donate every month or one time and then cancel after that. It is a $2 donation or to help support Board Game Maniacs. You can also go to streamlabs.com/BoardGameManiacs1. The link is going to be in the description, and you can do a donation of whatever you like to as well. Also on top of that, remember we are going to be doing a lot of live streaming. I don't know exactly when this video is going to be out. We may be in full swing of our Starfinder live streaming role-playing game. We may be finished of it, I don't know. But in any case, we're going to be doing a lot more live streaming, so check that out on the channel too as well. And remember, talk to everybody. Communication is key, like I said. Without you, Board Game Maniacs, viewing, subscribing, commenting, we would not be who we are, and we love you all for that. Thank you very much. So until next time, you know what I'm going to say. Fly in the blue sky, shoot down as many enemy aircrafts as you can, have some fun, but most importantly of all, and that is, be a maniac. Huh.